Okay, hi Brenda. Thank you for being here with us, and we'd like to do a quick interview and get a little bit to know, take a little time to know you and know a little about yourself and your relationship with corrective care wellness.
Okay.
If you could, first of all, just introduce yourself with your name, a little bit about yourself.
My name is Brenda Staley, and I've been here in Charlotte for maybe 16 years, and I have 3 children, all grown, thank goodness.
All healthy?
Yes.
Good, very good.
Yes.
Okay, well, the first thing that I wanted to ask you was, what conditions were you suffering from that even brought you to corrective care wellness?
Well, for years now, I have had diabetes. For a long time, I had what they call gestational diabetes during pregnancy. And after my last child was born, it became permanent diabetes. And so I've been diabetic for, I want to say, about 28 to 30 years now. And also, I developed in the last, just say, 6 years, high blood pressure. And I also have developed in the last year kidney problems, severe kidney problems.
How are you suffering with those conditions? Tell me about what life was like with dealing with those conditions.
Well, for one thing, I was taking insulin for the diabetes, and it was not controlling the diabetes. Then I started taking the medication on top of that insulin. Still did not bring it where it should be. And also, as far as my other problems, my high blood pressure goes, I was taking 3 different medications for my blood pressure, and which it never brought my blood pressure where it should be. It was always elevated a lot.
Wow.
You know, and also had severe eye problems coming from the diabetes. And that I have had treatments on my eyes, I want to say about 6 times in the last 2.5, 3 years.
When you say treatments, do you mean surgeries? Were they? What were they?
I had laser surgery, both eyes, several times, and then I had a procedure where, I don't know what it's called, but where they administered a needle in both eyes to inject fluid, to take out fluid and inject medication in my eyes.
My goodness. So it was a lot of on-hand therapy, and you suffered. It sounds like you suffered through quite a.
Well, it kept me going. I'll tell you, it kept me busy.
Yeah.
And yes.
And your day-to-day life, how were you suffering? You couldn't see. You couldn't see a few feet. You couldn't see.
Well,
could you drive?
I could see, but it was blurry, and I couldn't see a person's face until I got close to that person. Because what happened was, I was at work one day, and everything just went blurry. But I could tell from the voice who it actually was until I got close up on them, and then I was able to recognize who they were.
So at that point, you were already compensating, you could say, for the changes that your vision was having. You would use sound to identify who you were dealing with, or other visual cues that your limited vision would give you. Okay, well, let's ask you this: what did you do prior to coming to corrective care wellness? What did you do to treat it, aside from the shots? Were there medications you were doing?
Yes, there was a lot of medication that the doctors had put me on. I was going constantly to the doctor, for the problems that I was having. And afterwards, I started realizing that I needed to do more. So I, per se, for my cholesterol had went out of whack as well, and they wanted to put me on cholesterol medicine. So I decided not to go on the cholesterol medicine. So I started doing things on my own to try to alleviate that problem. and cholesterol had built up in my eyes so bad that they told me that once it gets to my retinals, which it was close to from the pictures, that I would be blind. So I refused to take the medicine that they gave me. And at that point, I started taking real high doses of garlic. Okay, not just your 5 milligrams or whatever. I was taking like 3,000 milligrams of garlic because I had to go back and I wanted to show some type of improvement.
Was this something that you found on your own to treat yourself with?
Well, yes, my son is getting into health stuff, so he told me to start taking, certain things to help me out and to get off of the medication.
Okay. What brought you eventually to Corrective Care Wellness? What finally did it for you where you said, I want to check this place out?
Okay. Well, the fact when I found out in December, I found out that I had stage 4 kidney disease.
December of what?
2011.
Okay, December 2011, you found that out.
Right. Okay. And I had went to a specialist, and he informed me that I was going to have to go on dialysis at that time. And so I said, well, no, I don't want to go on dialysis. So he said, you'll have to. So I told him, well, we'll talk about it the next time. But they wanted to get me prepped for it at that time, and I didn't do it. So then I was telling someone about the problem, and they asked me, have I tried corrective care? And I told them no. And then they told me, well, why don't you try Ty and see if she can help you? And that's how I ended up making the phone call to her.
Isn't that something?
To start coming to her.
Did you have any inhibitions about that? Did any doubts that somebody could help you, or limitations to how they could help you?
Well, I was unsure about what she could do for me, but I knew I didn't want to have dialysis, and this was another opportunity for me to try something different that I felt would work,
right,
or could work for me.
I noticed from a few of your comments that you made, you seemed a little resistive, if you would, to the doctors and what they were recommending. Where was that coming from? They said for you to do this, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do dialysis. I'm not going to do something. Where did that come from?
Because knowing people that were on dialysis and knowing people that had went through a lot with the medications and things, and with me, the medications was not helping my problem at all. And as far as dialysis go, once you start dialysis, I was told you can never get off of it. And it only guarantees you a few more years added to your life. And a lot of people that start dialysis still don't live more than 10 years after they started. And so I, for myself, did not want to change my life that drastically, that it would just turn my whole world upside down.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try something different.
I see. Okay. So, but you didn't know initially that there were alternatives when you made that decision, did you?
Well, no, I didn't really know, but my son had been telling me, Mom, you got to change your eating habits. You got to change doing this and doing that. But you just don't really realize the necessity of the information that they be telling you until then. And when I came to Ty, she told me the same thing. And also, therefore, this is what really encouraged me to make that change so that I wouldn't have to go on dialysis.
Okay. So let's change gears here. Now, you do finally come to, you contact Ty Spencer. She's the founder of Corrective Care Wellness. And she also, she does treatments. You finally meet her. What is that first day like?
Well, that first day I was uncertain. When I came, I told her what my problem was, and I asked her, did she think she could help me with that? And she told me, yes, she was going to do the best she could. She would be able to help me with a lot of my issues that I had.
Okay, very good. So, what was the order of the day? What was her recommendations and treatments? Was it hands-on stuff?
Yes, the treatment was hands-on, and she put me on a vegetable diet so that it would, she said my system had to readjust, had to go back to the original state it should be in, and in this way my body could start healing. Once it got back to that original shape, my body would start healing on its own.
Wow. Were there any, this vegetable diet, was this going to be a long-term diet, or was this just a temporary?
Well, for me, it would be more longer than usual because I was already at stage 4, kidney problem, kidney disease. So with me, it was going to be longer than normal to get me back to where it was. And she informed me that it would be a long road. I would have to make life changes to my eating habits and all in order to keep myself going. So this is what we've been working on.
Okay. How'd you feel about that lifelong changes?
Well,
That scare you?
Yes, it wasn't easy to do because, you know, when you're all your life you're used to doing certain things, and then it comes to where you have to give up a lot of things so that your body can readjust. It's not easy to do that every day. But she explained to me that it wasn't going to be easy.
Okay. So to this day, are you still doing vegetables, or has she moved on to other treatments, other supplements, or anything like that?
I do vegetable diet, but I also have salads. Also, I lost, of course, weight during this time. I lost a lot of weight, and also she put me on what is called 90 for Life Minerals and Vitamin Program.
90s for life?
90 for Life,
90 for
yeah.
life. What is that? Tell me a little about that.
Okay, that product is from Longevity, and what that is it's the minerals that we have depleted from our bodies, and the vitamins that we need, and the calcium that we need for an overall correctiveness of our bodies. Not only just taking vitamins, but the other things that we need that our body depletes of. So that product is what I've been put on.
Wow, that's very interesting. Most people don't think about minerals. When you think about eating healthier, of course, most people think of eating the vegetables, which indeed you were doing. Was this something you were agreeable to, or were you just, whatever Miss Spencer says, I'm just going to do it, may not like it, but I'm going to do it? What was your feelings on trying minerals?
Well, I understood how important minerals were, and that the fact that we never think about minerals, at least I never thought about the minerals being depleted, only thought about the vitamins, and not realizing how important the minerals were to my organs and all. So once I really understood that, I had no problem on doing whatever I needed to do to try to get myself back to where I should be.
Okay, so let's wrap up this last segment here, and what we want to do is wrap up everything we've been talking about to find out what became of your health after you came to Corrective Care Wellness. You started trying their diet, started trying their supplements.
Right.
Now let's talk about what happened.
Okay. Well, first of all, I noticed after starting with her treatment and me going on the diet, doing what she instructed me that I should do, I started being able to see improvements. As of now, I'm no longer on the insulin pump at all.
Really?
my insulin, they had told me at the doctors that I had became insulin resistant. Well, after being on this program with Ty, I can truly say it has really helped my diabetes. I don't take anything for my sugar. I'm still watching what I eat and all, but it's really made a big improvement with me. And also, I had went back to the doctor, the eye doctor, and she was amazed at my eyesight, the cholesterol that she had seen that was moving to my retinals and things. She was so impressed that she took pictures so that I could see the difference from when I was with her the last time, and the improvement that with my eyes had this time. And what she found, that the cholesterol was all gone from my eyes. Even though, and I could tell my eyes are better, they're not where they should be, but they are a lot better. Mm-hmm. And that's without taking the cholesterol medication that they wanted to put me on. Mm-hmm. Okay, and also by taking these supplements, I feel they had said that my blood count had dropped, way down to 6, and that I needed to take different things, and they wanted to give me iron intravenously to try to get that back up, and I refused to take that. So with Ty telling me to do certain things, I started doing that, and I don't have a problem now with that issue anymore. So I'm still working with my kidneys and all, and I feel if I continue going this way, I will see good results in that area.
Very good. So if we were meeting for the very first time and I told you that I had all kinds of medical conditions, mm-hmm. what would you tell me, or what are you telling your friends who may have medical conditions about how you saw a turnaround, or about corrective care wellness, or about the longevity products?
Well, I feel that by coming to corrective care wellness, it has really helped me in a lot of my issues, and I have seen the improvement, and I'm getting old, so I need all the improvements that I can get. And I do recommend corrective care wellness to people that I meet. I tell them what I'm going through and how I feel it has helped me, and encourage them, if you don't want to go through all the different medications and things that you have to go through, then try corrective care wellness. Mm-hmm. Just try it for 3 or 4 months and see if you can see a difference.
Well, I want to thank you very much for allowing us to have this interview with you, and we hope that others will benefit the way that you did, and we thank you again.
Well, thank you.
It was very, very nice to meet you.
Thank you.